in her book, Going Rogue, which I actually read cover to cover and have a little cheat sheet for if you want to skip reading it. But in the book, she says that her daughter Willow had to be removed when they moved to Juneau so she could be the governor. The honeymoon was over for the kids because students alerted Sarah that on one internet site, students had posted threats against Willow, threatening to gang rape her at school. And she had to be removed from school. And it's this whole long thing about how, stay away from her kids and who would ever say such a thing about her children. And then the same exact thing happened to Bristol, the threats. And so, little bits and pieces, they're big lies, big whopper lies that are nationally interesting there, but people up here are very interested in the little stuff. And today it came out that the superintendent of the school system is like, we never heard a word about that. And if anything had been reported, we would know. And then the chief of police in Juneau said, I have never heard anything about this. This was never reported. And then Sarah Palin's protection detail that she got when she was governor, who covered her kids, said, we never heard about this. So either, and there's no information about what website, which students told her, how she knew students had posted it, no details. So either there was this threat against her girls that was so bad they had to be removed from school, and she didn't tell anyone about it, including the cops, or, and what is more disturbing to me, she made it up for a little bit of dramatic action in her book. And I'm sorry, I can't imagine my mom making up a story about people threatening to gang rape me to impress her friends. I just can't even imagine that happening.
I thought, since this involves Sarah Palin lies, that it might be kind of funny or something. It's not. It's really disturbing. Like, that's a really twisted thing to do, because I don't see it as either or. She definitely made it up. I mean, what if you have that kind of threat to the point where you pull the kid out of school? Of course you're going to report that. I mean, who would be mental enough not to report that? And so what, is everybody else in Alaska lying, or is it Sarah Palin?
Exactly, and that's what I think is so, freaky, is that no one knew about this or had heard about this until the book was actually published. And so everyone's going, oh my God, like what website? Maybe they're threatening other kids or something like that. But then a lot of people it's something you don't even want to imagine that someone could do. There's a lot of Sarah Palin stuff that's fun to point and laugh, but making up a story about people threatening to gang rape your children is just kind of Law and Order kind of sick. You know what I mean? Like, that's a total Law and Order SVU kind of plot twist.
Yeah, there's something disturbed about it. And it's like, I guess the thing that bothers me almost as much is just flippant with the truth. Like, thinks, I'll just write that in the book, nobody will ever check. Nobody will ever ask the principal, nobody will ever ask the authorities. Or if they do, who cares? I'll just say that everybody's lying and that they're biased.
Right.
And that, to think that this woman could have been vice president, it's really scary.
Well, and she still has really incredible popularity numbers. I mean, they're talking about her as a serious threat for 2012. There's a big contingency of people who really adore her, especially down in the lower 48. There's a lot of people who really do. They're Republicans. They're upset with the system. They are upset with George W. Bush and what happened under his watch, but they don't really know why, and they don't really know how to express it. And so they're flocking to the whole Tea Party / Sarah Palin mentality. And I don't know. It gives me hives. It's scary.
Yeah, if you're a Sarah Palin supporter, it's a concession to ignorance. It's saying, you know what, I think she's pretty. I don't really care about the substance at all. I'm just going to go with that because that's my team and she's pretty. And it's really sad. But I think the main threat that she's a threat to the Republican Party.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's the real problem. If I was a Republican, I'd be enraged that they're actually considering her seriously.